Alright, so normally when you watch James and Mike Mondays, this is pretty much what you see, at least the episodes that are filmed at my place. But what you don't often get a chance to see is the other side of the room, where we're playing the games. So let's take a look. Over here, we have my setup. There's my TV, my games, and where I keep my controllers. And, well, before I go on, I want to just say real quick, I'm recording this on my phone. Reason I'm doing that as opposed to using the real video camera is because I'm going to be trying to get shots like in here and stuff and really get in there, and it's going to be hard to do that with a big camcorder. So anyhow, so this is my TV. It's a Samsung 4K 65-inch television. I'm really pleased with it, happy with it, because several different reasons. The quality of the TV is obviously really good, but one thing I really like is it comes with this switcher. This is pretty much how I got all my systems to be able to be hooked up. Now this is something that came with my television, and it's a pretty cool device because you can see here, these are all HDMI ports. 1, 2, 3, 4. I got this going to, let's see, Wii U, probably Xbox 360, PS3, and whatever else, Xbox, I don't know, I don't even remember all the different things I got to hook up. Actually, I got so many different things hooked up with HDMI, there's actually not even enough. It would be nice if I actually had another switch box like this that actually had more HDMI inputs, but I haven't been able to find anything yet. So if anybody knows of anything like this that has more HDMI ports, I'd be all ears, because this just isn't enough. I think one of these goes to the Retron. Let's see, what are the HDMI consoles that I have? This is a Retron here, the Retron 5. If you don't know anything about that, this is a really, really cool system because it plays Famicom, NES, Super NES, Genesis, and it actually is like an emulator system, and you can put your games in there, and it rips the ROMs off of the games, and then you can play them. And what's really cool about it is the system is HDMI as opposed to being, you know, your AV RCA, like the top-loading NES. And you can actually play NES games in HD, which is pretty amazing. It upscales it, so it's a really cool system. And yes, it uses the original controllers, even though it comes with its own controller. You can plug in, you know, NES, Genesis, and all that. Although you can't plug in a Famicom controller because you want to know why you can't plug in a Famicom controller? Well, look at this right here. You can't use a Famicom controller because here's the Famicom right here. Look at this. Famicom is hardwired into the system. Wasn't that kind of stupid? And look how I got this hooked up. You want to know why I have this console out here as opposed to having it with all the rest of my consoles? Well, the Famicom, look how short the wires are. Look at this. It barely even reaches to my couch, and it's sitting on my coffee table. That's how short the wires are. And I even have the console backwards. This is the front side of the console. This is the back side of the console. I have the back side of the console facing the couch because that's how short the wires are. Shortest wires in history. Great system, except for that, you know. And underneath we have the Famicom disk drive. Now all this stuff, yes, I have it close to the couch so that the controllers can reach, but all this I have going along the floor here to into the back here. And the way I have the Famicom hooked up, excuse me while I just move the light for a second. This is going to be a tough video to kind of film because I have to get into all these hard to reach areas. The Famicom is coaxial, and this is the Famicom right here, and I'm using a regular NES RF switch, and I have all my stuff labeled too. This is upside down, but it says NES RF switch. I try to label all of my wires, or as many of them as I can, because it gets confusing. So this place is like the Bat Cave. Everything has to have a label. It's the bat wire. Then this goes into the DVD recorder, and then the coaxial is coming out, and that's going into the television, which doesn't just go directly into the television. it goes into this switch box, which I was talking about. And that's why this thing is so cool. And one of the first things I mentioned, not only does this have the HDMI, but it's also got coaxial, which is awesome. But wouldn't it be nice if it had like 2 or 3 coaxials? You know, that would be the ideal dream, to find something like that. But at least it's got this. So this right here is the Famicom. Or no, this is a wire going from the DVD recorder out into this. And then this goes into my television so that I can watch it on the screen, which is really cool. Alright, so I want to try to explain how I get all these different systems to work together. Basically what I'm doing is I'm using things like this. This is a 4-way splitter, and this is another 4-way splitter I have, although they're different brands. And then I have another one over here. Basically, let's say you want to play Super Nintendo. That goes to, you know, this wire, Saturn, that goes to that, and you can switch between the different systems. What I'm doing is, basically, this is a 4-way splitter, so you can do up to 4 systems, again, up to 4 systems, and then I have this one over here. This one is only doing 2 because, basically, you see how there's 5 things on here? You can do 4 systems, but it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the back, right? Well, one of these is going out to, see, this is AV1. That goes to AV1 here. So if I want to play, the system's coming off of that. This over here has to be selected. And then for this one, coming out of this goes into the back of this here, and that goes to AV2. So if I want to play any of these systems, like Genesis, Nintendo 64, NES, this has to be selected, okay? And then I have 2 extra ones here on this box where I can play TurboGrafx 16 and Sega Master System. Actually, this is my Turbo Duo. So that's essentially how that works. The one confusing thing is, so this is, I have this labeled as AV1, this is labeled as AV2. That has nothing to do with this AV2, which is on the breakout box. That's what this thing's called, I believe. This AV2 is basically the AV2 that you select to on the television. So that's something entirely different. So that part of it gets a little confusing. TurboGrafx 16 I don't even have hooked up right now. And that would actually be my Turbo Duo. And I'll show you, I can show you why I don't have the Turbo Duo hooked up. But basically it's because of the way my, these cubby hole things I have are. Alright, I just broke out my Turbo Duo. As you can see, I don't have it hooked up with the rest of the consoles, and here's the reason why. Basically, you see this plug, how that juts out on the edge? That makes the console like a lot longer than it otherwise would be, and that's why I don't have it hooked up, because I could get it in there, but watch, look what happens. Look at this. Oh, doesn't fit, look, because of the wire. It's too long, so it doesn't fit in there. So when I want to play Turbo Duo, every once in a while, I'll just break it out and I'll put it on the coffee table, and when I'm not using it, I put it in the closet. So this thing is really stupid. If this was just in the back, I'd be able to do it, but it's not, so that's annoying. Anyway, sorry if this video is like all over the place, but I mean, the original idea was that I was going to try to script this whole thing out, but I don't even, it would take me forever to try to explain all this, and everybody always just wanted me to kind of explain how all my consoles are hooked up and how I record everything, but it's just a really complicated thing to try to explain. I mean, look at this. Look at this. I mean, look at these wires. Look at this madness. You can understand why I have a hard time explaining this. I mean, it's just, there's just so much. It's just so complicated. I even get confused trying to hook all this stuff up. But what I'm going to do right now is show you that this all works. Alright, so I just spent a little while hooking some things up. Now, I'm going to show you something pretty cool. The reason I'm going to do this is because I just want to show you guys that this is possible. all these wires and all this stuff probably makes me seem like I'm pretty crazy, and anybody that tries to hook up this many systems probably seems like they're pretty nuts, but it is possible to do. It can be done, and I'm going to show you right now. Alright, look at all these systems, all these games, but the big question is, can they all be played at once? Does this really all work? Well, I want to show you guys in one pass that this indeed does work. We got my Turbo Duo over here. I had Bonk in there, but I put in Castlevania Rondo of Blood, which James and I just did for James and Mike Monday, so here you go. As you can see on the TV over there, I got Rondo of Blood going, and let's get my name going. Boom. Mike, game start. There you go. I'm not actually going to play the game, I just want to show you that that it works. This is just a demonstration so that you can see that it is possible to get all of these consoles going at the same time. So there you go. Rondo of Blood. I'm moving it around. This is legit. It works, right? Alright, let's move on to the next system. Sega Saturn. Boom, Sega Saturn. What? It didn't change yet? That's because we gotta do this. Now Sega Saturn, as I said, was AV1. That means this over here has to be on AV1. And boom, there you go, Sega Saturn. But let's get the actual game going. Now Sega Saturn's down here, and what game do we got going? We got Panzer Dragoon. Let's see if I can get this started real quick. What is this crap? Come on, start application. You can tell I don't play Sega Saturn very often. I don't know why they have to have that crap in the beginning. But anyway, there you go, Panzer Dragoon. I'm not actually going to play the game right now, just showing you that it works. Let's go to the next thing. How about Xbox, regular Xbox? What Xbox game do we have? We got Ninja Gaiden Black. Here we go. We got, there's my 360 controller, but we got the original Xbox controller here. And boom, Ninja Gaiden Black. And we start the game. This is a cool game, by the way. Although I have not played it since a long time ago, so there's probably not even a save file on this. Man, now I feel like sitting here playing this, but we gotta move on. Okay, so Ninja Gaiden Black. Let's do Nintendo 64. What button gets N64 going? You know what? That's this right here. But what's the problem? AV2. So we gotta go over here. AV2. Boom. And is it going already? Ooh, is it like locked up or something? Oh, it might be. Hang on, let me reset it. Look at that, I got the green jungle N64. That's the DK Donkey Kong N64. But there you go, Super Mario 64. It is working. It's a me. It's a Mario. That's awesome. Let's do NES real quick. NES, AV2. Boom, there you go. Mario Duck Hunt works. How about GameCube? GameCube. What do we got there? We got Smash Brothers Melee. Works. Genesis. Boom. Genesis. We got Sonic 3 going. I love the box cover to Sonic 3, by the way. Anyway, what have we not done yet? 3DO. Panasonic 3DO. Oh, gotta switch it back to AV1. Boom, AV1. Now you're starting to get the idea how this works, right? There you go, Gex. Really cool game. Let's check out the Gex box real quick. I think it's down here. Gex. Crystal Dynamics. Cool stuff. We're gonna have to do that game sometime for James and Mike Mondays. But anyway, and okay, so let's go to the HDMI systems now. How about PS3? Let's see. Now, with these, I have to switch on the remote control to the different input things. Come on. I think HDMI 4 is PS3, I think, if I can remember correctly. Yep, there you go. Boom. And that is the Ghostbusters video game. James did a review of that back when it came out. Cool game. Alright, next. HDMI. We're gonna do, come on. We're gonna do HDMI 3. What's on that? I have no idea even. HDMI 3, is there anything on that? I don't know what the deal with that is. HDMI 2 is, oh, HDMI 2 is 360. Let me get that going. I'll go through and show you my 360 games that I bought. I really love that you can get all the classic arcade games on 360. Like you can get Dig Dug, Midway Arcade Origins, I recommend that highly. Missile Command, Tempest, Centipede, Asteroids, Miss Pac-Man, Galaga, Pac-Man, Wolfenstein 3D, Mortal Kombat Arcade, Dungeons & Dragons, Chronicles of Mystaria. That is Tower of Doom, and you know, it's both of the games, which is really cool. Castle Crashers, Double Dragon, on and on and on. So those are all my games. Anyway, so the point is, Xbox 360 works, and I should definitely plug in my Retron. Oh, also, the Dreamcast is not plugged in because I did run out of, as you can see, there's no Dreamcast thing on there. So I can't do that right now. So if I wanted to get Dreamcast going, so basically I would just have to plug that in and swap it out with like Genesis or something. I'd swap it out with that right there and it would work. So I could get it going, but come on, just start Crazy Taxi. I just gotta show this. Come on, come on. Boom, loading Crazy Taxi. There you go. So, anyway, the whole point of that is that I don't have enough ports on these things to get everything going. But that's the worst that you'd have to do, is just switch something out. And now we know that this one on the end is the one that is the out from this. I thought it was on this side, which is why I made a mistake there. By the way, how do you guys like these? These are original Legend of Zelda Gashpon figures. They're actually, I painted them, but these are official Nintendo figures. Here's one that's not painted. This is Ganon. Is there an actual Nintendo logo on these? I think there is. There is on some of them. Come on, Link. Well, there's like markings on the back. But anyway, Sega Master System. We gotta do that. Okay, there you go. Sega Master System. That's Alex Kidd in High Tech World, I believe. And then we didn't do PS2. So let's see. Shit, how do I get PS2 going? I think I have to switch this. Is that? Wait. Yeah, there you go. On my PS2, I have Tato Legends going. This is my PS2 controller. It's Krang. Somebody sent that to me. Pretty cool. So, Tato Legends. Look, Jungle Hunt. All these different games. Pretty cool. As you can tell, I'm really into the old arcade stuff. Got all those. So there you go. PS2. And yeah, last but not least, we're going to do Wii U. Let's switch over to that. Now to do that, I got to switch to my HDMI. I think it's HDMI 1. I believe. Is that Wii U? And yes, it's Wii U. Of course. There you go. That's what you want. Who's that character right there? That's who you want to play it with. That was pretty crazy. I wanted to show you how all my systems worked and that they can work all together. Hope you enjoyed that. Hope you learned something. And maybe you guys got some comments on how I can hook this all up better. I don't think many people try to actually hook up this many systems at the same time, usually. And by the way, I don't normally have all the systems on like this. This was just a one-time thing. Usually I only turn on one system at a time. This was just for the purposes of this video to show you that yes, it does actually all work, but it's not really safe to have all these consoles on at the same time. I can't imagine how much power this is all using. Oh, I guess the one thing I didn't talk about was how I actually record the games. This is the DVD recorder I use. Now for the for like HDMI games and all that, I use the game capture for HD games, but for all the old systems like NES and Sega Master System, that kind of stuff, we just record onto discs using a DVD recorder. And oh wait, what do we have going on over here? I almost forgot about Atari stuff. Now I did a video just recently, Wizard of War, where I talked about in the video how the Wiko controllers weren't really working. Obviously the 5200 controller itself is a piece of shit, and the Wiko controllers, they're better, but the analog on them is kind of wonky. So I just got this thing recently. This is called an Atari 5200 controller interface. Basically, this is taking the place of the keypad controller of the of the Atari 5200, that controller. With the Wiko controllers, you had to plug those in with a Y adapter cable and actually still use the keypad on the 5200. But this takes the place of that, and there you go. You can play. You can play Atari 5200 with Genesis if you have that. So, if you ever wanted to play the 5200, and the problem with the 5200 was never the games. The games are good on the 5200. The problem is just the controller. But now that you can play with the Genesis controller, I recommend everybody buy a 5200 and one of these things and a Genesis controller, and go to town, have fun with an Atari system that you were never able to really play. And by the way, over here I got my Atari 7800, and you know what this is right here? This is a Harmony cartridge, and you can get these from Atari Age. You know what this is? You put an SD card into your into this thing, and you can put all the Atari games on to there, and every single Atari game pretty much ever made is on this cartridge. So while I am a purist and I like to have the actual cartridges, I like having this as well, because there's some cartridges that are so rare and hard to find that you're probably never gonna, get a hold of them. So if you ever want to play every Atari game on on your TV and not have to play it on your computer, pick up a Harmony cartridge and you can have all the Atari games right there. I don't see why there's anything wrong with it. I mean, if we come over here and look, you want to just real quick see my Atari games. I have just about every Atari game ever, and of course, yeah, you want to play Atari, you want to play it on the real games, if you have the choice. But a lot of people, they're expensive to get, and even if you have the spare cash to get some of the original games, it takes years and years and years. You know how long I've been collecting these? My whole life, to try to get all these. So I would highly recommend the Atari Harmony cart, because it saves you years of having to collect, and you get all the games and you can play them on a real TV. It's awesome. So the Atari Harmony cartridge and the Atari 5200 controller interface, should get them both. Good stuff. Well, I could go on forever, as you can tell, but hope you enjoyed the video, and hope you found it interesting. Thanks.